Good morning, muscles! It's Mr. Fallon. Today's Thursday. Today's going to be an amazing day. Welcome to Good Morning Muscles. Remember, Good Morning Muscles is your daily Kickstarter for what's going to be an amazing day. Good Morning Muscles is uploaded on It's Mr. Fallon's YouTube page every morning at 6 a.m. So whatever time you wake up, if it's after 6 a.m., that's great. Wake up, get on YouTube, find Good Morning Muscles, do the workout, get so strong, kick off what's going to be an amazing day. Let's get started with the fun. All right, it's time to get warmed up. And today, we're going to do a super husky warm-up. This is how it works. First, find a shirt. Mr. Fallon found a shirt. It works best if you can find a shirt without any sleeves on it. So I can find a shirt like this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make myself into a super husky by putting the shirt over my head. I'm now ready to be a super husky. But if I'm going to be a super husky, I better be really strong. So we're going to do a super husky warm-up, and I'm going to work on being really strong. Face your TV, and you're going to do what I do. Jump this way, and this way, and forward, and back to the center. All right, let's try that again. Over this way. And now jump over this way. And forward and back. Can you do that 3 times in a row as fast as you can? All right. To the side. To the side. Forward and back. To the side. To the side. Forward and back. To the side. To the side. Forward and back. Awesome. Now we're going to try the same thing, but this time we're going to do it on 1 foot hopping. Let's hop to the side, forward and back. Switch feet, to the side, forward and back. Switch feet, to the side, forward and back. Switch feet, to the side, forward and back. All right, we're going one more time on 1 foot. Let's try it again. To the side, forward and back. Switch feet, to the side, forward and back. Awesome. Now we're going to do it frog style. Here we go. To the side, forward and back. To the side, forward and back. Oh, super husky. To the side, forward and back. All right, last one. We're going to do a kangaroo. As high as you can this time. It's your last round. Super husky. How high can you fly? To the side, forward and back. As high as you can. To the side, forward and back. Last one, your highest one. To the side, forward and back. Awesome job.
Wow, so much better. 2 breaths and going again.
It's now time for Spot Run Story Time. Boys and girls, on yesterday's episode of Good Morning Muscles, we started our new book, Wayside School Gets a Little Stranger. We're on Chapter 2. Chapter 2 is called A Message from the Principal. Damon hurried up the stairs. He couldn't wait to see Mrs. Jules, his favorite teacher in the whole world. But the 13th floor was a lot higher up than he remembered, even if there was no 19th floor. By the time he got up there, his legs hurt, his side ached, and he had a blister on the back of his ankle where it rubbed against his sneaker. You ever had a blister on the back of your ankle from not wearing socks? Whew, those are the worst. He stumbled into the room and collapsed on the floor. Hi, Mrs. Jules, he gasped. Hi, Damon, welcome back, said Mrs. Jules. Damon looked up at her. Something seemed different about her, but he wasn't sure what it was. Oh, Damon, would you do me a favor, she asked. Sure, said Damon. I left my pencil in the office, said Mrs. Jules. Would you mind going down and getting it for me? No problem, said Damon. It's yellow, said Mrs. Jules. It has a point at one end and a red eraser on the other. Have you ever seen a pencil like that? Damon got to his feet and headed down the stairs. One by one, the other children staggered into the classroom, huffing and puffing. They were all out of shape. They must not have been doing good morning muscles. Still, they were very excited to be back in Mrs. Jules' class. Shouts of joy could be heard from every corner of the room. Mrs. Jules held up 2 fingers. All the children became quiet. Joy stopped shouting. Mrs. Jules told the children to sit at their old desks. So did anyone learn anything at your other school, she asked. Mac raised his hand. Ooh, 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 he grunted. Yes, Mac, said Mrs. Jules. Civilization, declared Mac. What about civilization? Asked Mrs. Jules. We learned it, said Mac. That's very impressive, said Mrs. Jules. Would you like to tell the class something about civilization? Mac thought for a moment. I don't remember, he said, but I know we learned it. That's good, Mac, said Mrs. Jules. Anyone else learn anything? Rondi raised her hand. Evaporation, she said. Good, said Mrs. Jules. What is evaporation? I don't know, said Rondi. Dana raised her hand. I learned about exaggeration, she said. It was all my teacher ever talked about. We had like 10,000 tests on it, and the teacher would kill you if you didn't spell it right. That's very good, Dana, said Mrs. Jules. You learned your lesson well. I did, asked Dana. Mrs. Jules shrugged. Well, I guess we'll just continue where we left off. Just then, Mr. Kidswatter voice came over the PA system. Good morning, boys and girls. Mr. Kidswatter was the principal. He paused a moment because he thought every kid in school was saying, Good morning, Mr. Kidswatter back. Nobody said it. Sherry buried her head in her huge coat, closed her eyes, and went to sleep. Welcome back to Sherry buried her head in her huge coat, closed her eyes, and went to sleep. Welcome back to Wayside School. I know I'm sure glad to be back. It was wonderful to see all your bright and chipper faces this morning. I missed every single one of you. And welcome back to Miss Mush, too. Today's lunch menu will be baked liver and purple sauce. Miss Mush actually cooked this before the school was closed, but she assures me it is still as tasty as ever. I'm sure it is, said Myron. A safety reminder. Now, it's been a while since you've had to rush up and down stairs, and I want to make sure there are no accidents. So remember this simple rule. When you go up the stairs, stay to your right. When you go down the stairs, stay to your left. That way, there should be no problems. Okay, let's all have a good day, and remember, I'm your friend, and you're my friends. And if ever you need a friend, you can always come to me. Isn't that nice, said Mrs. Jules. What a bunch of baloney. There I was lying on a beach in Jamaica when suddenly I get a fax that this school was back open. Well, those kids better not bother me. My friends, that's a joke. Like I really want to be friends with those little snot-nosed... What? Don't tell me... What? What's on? You mean they're hearing what I'm saying right now? This very second? Well, how do you turn it off? What button? I don't see a red button. There is... Oh, here it is. Boys and girls, what a funny story. Tomorrow, we're going to hear about Chapter 3. Chapter 3 is going to be all about poetry. Do you know what poetry is? If not, make sure you're here tomorrow and you'll learn all about it. Our step total for today is... It's now time for the joke of the day. Let's give Alexa another try. She told me she's been working on jokes. Alexa, tell us a joke.
Did you hear about the pirate who became a great chef? He mastered the 7 seasonings.
I still don't get it. All right, boys and girls, today we are continuing with our gymnastics. And yesterday's episode of Good Morning Muscles, we talked about 10 balance spots on our body. Today, we have some balancing challenges for you. Before we do those, let's review. Our 2 large balance spots, what were they? They were our bellies and our back. Go ahead, balance on your belly. I'll wait. Only have your belly touch the ground. Don't let your arms touch the ground. Don't let your legs touch the ground. Alright, now flip over and do it only on your back. Don't let your head touch the ground. Don't let your bottom touch the ground. And remember, a balance, you're trying to be as still as a statue. Alright, our 4 medium balance spots were what? It's our hands and our feet. Go ahead and balance on all 4 medium balance spots. Still as a statue. Can you do it a different way? Amazing. Alright, finally, our 4 small balance spots. They are our elbows and our knees. Go ahead, balance on all 4 small balance spots. As still as a statue. Amazing. Alright, now today we're going to take this balance challenge up to the next level. Because you are getting so strong and becoming such a great balancer. Today, we're going to offer up some balance challenges where you're going to be told to balance on different body parts. We're going to see if you can do it. Your first balance challenge is to see if you can balance on 1 foot and 2 elbows. Can you do it? Put 1 foot on the ground and 2 elbows on the ground. That's all they can touch. Mr. Fallon's going to try. 1 foot and 2 elbows. It's still as a statue. This is tough. Mr. Fallon started off with a tough one. Hey, my floor's clean today. Alright, good. Could you do it as still as a statue? Great. Now let's try to balance on 2 knees and 2 hands. Let's give that one a try. Mr. Fallon's going to do it like this. Still as a statue. Don't move a muscle. If you can do it without blinking, even better. Now how about, can you balance on your back and 2 feet? Your back and 2 feet are all that's allowed to touch the ground. No hands, no head, no bottom. Let's see how Mr. Fallon's going to do it. His back, his hands are off the ground, his head's off the ground, his bottom's off the ground, on my back, on my feet. I'm trying not to move, but I'm talking too much. Good. All right. Now it's time for our final balance challenge. This time, instead of me telling you what body parts to balance on, I'm going to give you balance part sizes. So this time, let's see if you can balance on 1 large balance spot and 2 medium balance spots. Here's a hint, we just did it. That's one way to do it. Could you do it a different way? So 1 large balance spot, and one way Mr. Fallon could do it is I could go on my belly and have my hands touch the ground. My belly's my large balance spots, and my hands are my medium balance spots. How else could you do it? Fantastic. Now let's see if you can balance on 1 medium balance spot and 2 small balance spots. Remember, our medium balance spots, hands and feet, 1 of those, so either 1 hand or 1 foot, and 2 small balance spots, so either 2 elbows, 2 knees, or 1 elbow and 1 knee. Mr. Fallon's going to try like this. Mr. Fallon has 1 medium spot, 1 foot. Be nice and still, Mr. Fallon. And 2 small balance spots, 1 knee and 1 elbow. All right, let's try this one. Can you balance on just 1 medium balance spot? Remember, what are our medium balance spots? Hands and feet. So you're either balancing on 1 hand, and if you're balancing on 1 hand, you better take a video of that and send it to Mr. Fallon, because I want to see that. Or you're balancing on 1 foot. But can you balance on 1 foot a different way and be as still as a statue? All right, great. Now let's see if you can balance on 1 large balance spot, 4 medium balance spots, and 4 small balance spots. Think about it. You need either your belly or your back on the ground, and you need your elbows, both your knees, both your hands, both your feet on the ground. How does it look? If you're doing it like this, you're probably doing it correct. Mr. Fallon has both of his elbows, both of his knees, both of his feet, both of his hands, and his belly on the ground. This is a great balance. All right, we're going to try one last challenge. Can you balance on 1 large balance spot, 1 medium balance spot, and 1 small balance spot? Think about it. So you need either your belly or your back. You need 1 of your hands and 1 of your feet, 1 of your elbows and 1 of your knees. There's many ways to do this. How are you doing it? Mr. Fallon's going to do it like this. Look how Mr. Fallon chose to do it. What's his large balance spot? It's my back. What's my small balance spot? It's my elbow. What's my medium balance spot? It's my foot. Boys and girls, practice that balancing. See what other balance challenges you can come up with. Maybe you could challenge somebody at home to try some of those challenges to see if they can do those balances. It's a ton of fun, and we get so much stronger. Wow, boys and girls, I'm so disappointed that the time is up for Good Morning Muscles. I don't believe it. These mornings just fly by faster and faster. The cool news is we're getting so much stronger. Boys and girls, listen to what we have for tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to start off with a warm-up game, and it's going to be a shout box warm-up. Last week, I surprised you with a ballet shout box warm-up. If you missed that, go back and find episode 5 of Good Morning Muscles. Ballet warm-up, it was so much fun. We learned a lot of ballet terms during that warm-up. Go back and do it. So we will start off with a shout box warm-up. We're going to continue with our book, and we're going to be working on some gymnastics rolls tomorrow. It's going to be so much fun. We're going to have some more fun along the way. Get so strong. Hey, that's for tomorrow, though. Today is going to be your day. It's going to be an awesome day. Hey, thanks for joining us. Remember, send your videos, send your pictures to us at that email address or on It's Mr. Fallon on Facebook, and we'll get you in the next video. Have an awesome day, muscles.